Welcome back to Goes to 11's Women's Fishing Network. My name is Christine and I'm your Wednesday host. What you see before you is my Campbell River Pier Fishing Starter Pack. I've got my Ugly Stick Big Water Spin Caster that I just picked up yesterday or the day before. I'm pretty excited about it. I wasn't exactly sure what to pick for a rod to pier fish, but I knew I would need something a little heavier. So this rod is capable of holding between 15 and 30 pound test. I think it'll be decent. The reel is big enough to hold enough line that I should be alright. Should the big Chinook that I'm going to catch, should it decide to go for a few runs under the pier, hopefully not around any of the pilings. But yeah, so I've got a bunch of gear here to go through. Have some Gibbs minnows, so I'm gonna have to take off the treble hooks and put on some single barbless hooks. A friend of mine who fishes the pier quite often gave me some tips. I've also looked up online, Campbell River pier fishing. I've watched a few videos about it. I do know that somebody caught a salmon, a Chinook, about a 20 pounder. I think it was July 3rd. So although all reports say that it's a little early for me to be doing this, I have the day off tomorrow. So tomorrow's the day I have to go. Besides, you never know when the fish are going to show up. They could be there right now, or they could show up right when I show up, which would be totally ideal. So I have two sizes of the Gibbs Green minnow. I've got a 3 ounce for when the tide is ripping. Apparently I'm going to want something a little heavier to have in the water. And then I've got the Gibbs Green 2 ounce minnow to throw around when the tide is a little slacker. I also picked out this one. I really liked it. I haven't heard of the name before, but I like the hologram on it. It looks good to me. So we're gonna have to take all those treble hooks off of there and deal with that. I've got some snap swivels to attach the minnows to my fishing line. I talked to a few people. I wasn't sure if I was going to want to put a leader at the end of my line before the lure. But the couple of people I did talk to said that they wouldn't worry about it, so I figured what I would do is I would mostly set up my rod, and then once I got to the pier, I could schmooze a little bit with the people on the dock and get the real scoop, get the real tips and tricks of the trade. So I'm going to gear up this rod a little bit, and once I'm done, I will show you what I'm working with. Okay, so like I said, based on information from a friend, and it makes total sense. What I'm putting on my rod is 20 pound test, because I want to make sure that I have enough line on my rod. The pier is quite high up in the air, and so casting it as well. And also, like I said, if the fish decides to run, I want to make sure that I have enough line, that I'm not going to lose it just because I don't have enough line. I would like to know, I'm curious, so when people put their line when they're first starting, on the reel, is the last line of defense a granny knot, or is it just me? That's all I start the line with. I'd really like to know. I should probably look it up one day. Maybe you could comment below and tell me how you tie off your fishing line when you start to gear up your reel. Okay, so one of the best things that I did for myself when I first started fishing was I taught myself to tie a couple of really good knots. One of them was a uni knot. You can see that. Also, don't look at my fingernails. I was helping a commercial fisherman friend of mine put new belts in his engine today, so grease is really hard to get off. So yeah, I taught myself a couple of really good knots. One was a uni knot and the other one was a nail knot. They can be a little tricky to do, but you'll save yourself a lot of disappointment and lost fish and lost gear. Also, you can tie your own leaders when you know how to tie a nail knot. So okay. Also, here's another thing, and I don't know if everyone knows this but me, but I just figured this out a little while ago. As when you're dealing with split rings, when you're taking one hook off, immediately start feeding the other hook on. Like I said, everyone probably knew this already, but maybe there are people like me who didn't realize it, because trying to get that split ring open once it's been closed is the devil, especially on these bigger lures, stronger lures. Not all of us have super strong hands, so that's a really good tip. Don't forget it. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me while I gear up my fishing rod. Just about ready to go, head up island for Campbell River pier fishing. I'm super excited. Not sure what I'm going to find, but you know, as always, when we go fishing, we always find a few things. Beautiful scenery and some peace and solitude. Definitely a good time. Yes, that's a float tube in my living room. Don't judge me. So wish me luck. You should visit the Goes to 11 store, fishingandoutdoors.ca for Canadian shoppers. They have float tubes, they have pontoon boats. You should check it out. They've got some really nice ones. And fishingandoutdoors.net for American and international shoppers. I would like to thank our sponsors, and I would like to thank Rick for making this time and space available for us. Wish me luck. I'm off.